What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FudgeMuppet. It's Scott here with an interesting discussion for you, and it's actually referring to a comment that was on our previous video about the Stormcloaks versus Imperials, which victory will be considered canon. Now, a lot of people argue for the Empire and saying that the Empire is the more logical choice and that they will succeed because, Stormcloaks are just these little racist farmers and they can't do anything. But commenter Tom Danner brought up an interesting point that it really depends on who the Dragonborn sides with, because theoretically the Dragonborn could side with the Empire too and bring all his power with them, but the Dragonborn is actually so strong in the lore that if he sided with the Stormcloaks, you have to recognize the full width of the power that he'd actually bring to them as well. So the possibility becomes more likely if they did theoretically just decide a Stormcloak victory was going to be canon, the Dragonborn, to make that victory happen, had to side with them. So he's defeated Alduin and he's basically got he's basically intimidated every fucking dragon that exists. Like, he took down the biggest, baddest dragon that existed. Plus, he also took down Miraak and got Bend Will from him, the Bend Will shout, so he can actually control and ride these dragons. Theoretically, the possibilities of the Dragonborn go so far. He could Bend Will a whole bunch of dragons, pretty much all the ones that are remaining, and use them in an army. And imagine if a Stormcloak army. So yes, you've just got your, racist farmers, blah, 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 nothing like the Empire or whatever. But then you've got them backed by a dragon army with a Dragonborn with a whole plethora of dragon shouts and the power of the thumb behind them. And if you look deeper into the lore and theories and stuff as well, there's the stuff about him being the Shezarine and little bits and pieces like that, like an avatar of Lorcan, essentially, or Shezar as he's known in Cyrodiil. And then on top of that, you can add in the support from the independents in Hammerfell, perhaps, and there's this big crazy war going on between the Aldmeri Dominion and the Stormcloaks plus Hammerfell and a whole army of dragons behind them. Basically, it was just something I hadn't considered myself. I always thought, I'm like, oh yeah, the Stormcloaks are pretty fucked if, the Empire crumbles and it's just Stormcloaks versus the Aldmeri Dominion, because they're just a single, smaller force. It's just Skyrim. But seriously, the Dragonborn being there, it's like people don't consider that in the equation, and that's what I didn't consider it myself. So it was really interesting for that guy to bring it up. And then there's also other stuff talking about how there's so much of the plot that I think it was Izzy Valentine was another commenter that actually brought up the idea that the Stormcloaks could be canon because there's so much of the plot with the Dragonborn that parallels the Talos of Atmora story, who rose from Skyrim leading his king into war, yada, 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 yada. That could be another reason for it, the Stormcloak to be a canon ending. And like I said, a lot of people also did respond in the comments saying that, the season unending main storyline mission might sort of be the canon, that it's sort of unresolved civil war or whatever's going on. But anyway, I just thought it was an interesting point to bring up the fact that the Stormcloaks could in fact win if the Dragonborn were to side with them and bring in all the power that really is the Dragon. Like, it's just when you recognize how powerful this individual truly is, the protagonist. So, with all the thumb, dragon army, it's pretty fucking sweet. Anyways, I'd like to hear what you guys think about it, and if it's changed your perspective on a potential Stormcloak victory and whether they could actually challenge the Aldmeri Dominion. Anyways, I'm Scott from FudgeMuppet. Let me know what you think in the comments. Continue the conversation on Twitter. Go down into the description below, and all the links to our social media are there. Subscribe for more stuff like this. I'm Scott, and I'll see you next time.